Do you remember the $97 interview video? Why would you pay $97 to interview me? This time it's different. You're not interviewing me. I'm showing you how I work under pressure, live in the room. Most workshops make you sit through death by PowerPoint. In this one, you get to test me. I'm going to show you how I take a team from chaotic to a well-oiled machine inside 90 days. You'll see exactly how I'd align your team, remove bottlenecks, and build momentum using the exact Manic Monday sprint framework that I've stress tested on massive construction projects and shutdowns. The real villain is expecting your team to scale your business without giving the correct structure for execution. This session shows you what it looks like when you move your team from good to great. The workshop's split into 3 parts where you get to fully test what I can and can't do. It's practical, hands-on, and it's certainly not a lecture, and it's only $97. So you're probably thinking, what's the catch? Is there gonna be a pitch? If you come along thinking that, you certainly won't be disappointed. There will be a pitch, but I'll send it to you before you even come so you can decide whether it's for you or not. DM me the word workshop, I'll send you the pitch, then you'll know exactly what it is, and if it's not for you, that's fine. So if you want to see how I build high-performing teams in 90 days, this is your opportunity. All right, if your team, you feel like your team is stuck, they're down here, okay? They're stagnant and they're disengaged. My spelling's terrible when I'm trying to do this sometimes. If you feel like they're disengaged, they're stuck, they're just being average, then maybe you feel like they're even a little bit complacent, or what was the other word that we were looking for that I heard on LinkedIn the other day? Anyway, a little bit entitled. Get that right, Ben. Stale, disengaged, average, and entitled, and you want to move them up to be where what the outliers do, which they're engaged and they're pumped every day that they turn up. A bit like what Seating Matters is. This is a video that you have been waiting for. We look at what the All Blacks can teach us about creating a culture that actually sticks. All right, so if you've seen that video right at the start, I'm going to make a quick pitch right now so that you can, if you're watching this later on, just skip straight past it, and it's not even really much of a pitch. I'm letting a small group together, 5 people max. There's a reason why it's 5, because that's what the group size that works best in a workshop, communication lines, all the other thing. Anyway, small group, 5. We're going to go deep on how I move what I call the 9-day culture shift. Move a group from this corner down here up to this corner up here inside 90 days. Want to get to that workshop, $97. There will be a pitch. I'll send you the pitch so you can have a look at it before you come to the workshop. Decide if what I'm offering at the back end of it is for you or not. It's not, it's fine. Don't come. All good. All right, let's get into it. That is, I'm just testing a couple things in a minute. Pitch over. Right, let's get into what I do best, which is actually show you why you're stuck. Okay, I'm just gonna hit the camera. Actually, don't want it on moving around. I want it on zooming. Right. So down in this corner down here, as I say, we're stagnant and disengaged, and this is where the average sit. When people try to create culture, this happens particularly in large organisation. They think that perks drive culture. Bring your dog to work day. Put pool tables in. Put ping pong tables in. Order donuts. Get Zen meditation person in. Give them health spa vouchers. Fitness vouchers. All those things are great. Remember what they are. They are perks. They don't drive your culture. Actually, I missed a couple steps. This is a bit that you're not really going to want to hear. If your team is sitting in this corner here, down in here, then that is a reflection on you. There is no other way that you can look at this, and there's no point me not telling you this, because this is the first thing I'm going to tell you if we do decide to work together, right? Get the book. Improvement starts with I. And what we need to create here, and this is part of what we do in this 90-day culture shift, this is from the book, the quote out of the book, What the All Blacks Can Teach Us About the Business of Life. The key questions are, how do leaders create an environment that delivers the opportunity for personal growth and professional development? How they enable mastery, and how they make it happen every day. Impossible being, you said, oh, way too much on to be able to do that. You don't know, you don't understand. Heard it all before. We can do it. I'm going to show you how to do it up in this corner up here. How we create exactly what they're talking about just there and what the All Blacks can teach us about the business of life. First problem is, the first thing that you're doing down in this corner, keeping your average stagnant and disengaged, is perks. Thinking perks drive culture. They don't. Next thing is, they're too nice. Now this, best description I've heard of this is, comes out of a book called Thinking Clearly by Parrish. He talks about the difference between nice and kind. So when someone's got a bit of shit stuck in their teeth, we don't want to say anything. If you don't want to say anything to them, it's because you're being nice. If you're being kind, you say, hey, Benny, you got a bit of shit stuck in your teeth. Better go to the bathroom and sort that out. That's the difference between nice and kind. Everyone's trying to be nice down here. No one wants to hurt anyone's feelings, which I'm not saying you go out of your way to hurt people's feelings, but you need candor. You need to be able to call out behaviours that aren't right, and you need to say, hey, you got a bit of shit in your teeth. You need to fix that up. They have low or no standards. Without standards, the Ticciano, I think it is, says in Lean, without standards, there can be no improvement. Down here, there's basically none. All right, that's another thing, keeping them down on average. They avoid feedback. Again, this is back to the nice versus kind. No one wants to point out to John that he's taken way too long with that job and it doesn't need to be polished to that level of polish. We don't need that. He's building a Maserati when what we need is a push bike. No one wants to tell him that because he's a perfectionist and he takes pride in his work. That's fine. Build a polished bicycle, not a Maserati, John. So they're avoiding that sort of feedback. You hear this one and you'll see this on your socials quite a bit, this next one. And this is the one thing that I can tell if there's not a great culture and that they're talking about perks and not culture. They constantly brag how great their culture is. Humble brags. Oh, we're doing this. We've got cupcake day. We've got fucking hat day. We've got t-shirt day. All these other things, which are perks. They're constantly bragging about that. They have nothing to do with culture. They're perks. Extras. All right. So if they're bragging about their culture, great cultures, go see what someone else is doing and say, that's a good idea. How do we incorporate that into what we're doing? That's a big, that one there, should draw it, is a big red flag. They're on their socials, bragging about their culture. I'll tell you what a great culture looks like when you can brag about it. There's a book written by a guy called Gary Rich, who was the CEO for that company there, WD-40. Their employee engagement survey went out during COVID when things were really, really bad. And they had they were questions like, I feel comfortable about my future with the company. I love coming to work. I love my coach. They have leaders, they have coaches. There was 4 questions like that. Every one of their answers in their surveys scored above 94% that yes, that's true. You look at the statistics on culture or culture change, and there's somewhere around 70% down in this average corner here. This is why we look at what the outliers do, not what the average do. 70% are disengaged, or what they call actively disengaged, going out of their way to drag things back, slow things down, those sorts of things. Red flag. We have a great culture. They don't. Down in the average and stagnant and disengage, EN. Let's fix that up because that's doing my OCD. ENGAGED. I think Beanie can't even spell while we watch these videos for. Down here, I wing it. Make it up, make it real. Planning is a dirty word. We don't want to get stuck in a perpetual loop of planning and never executing. Don't put any planning behind the execution. Ready, fire, aim. Is what happens down in this corner down here. All right, that's the downside. If you're stuck down in there, don't beat yourself up. First thing, I think it's a quote from Alcoholics Anonymous, is that all progress starts with the truth. I've given that a hand signal. This is hand activated as well. So, and as you can see, I talk my hands a lot, so it takes off every now and again. All progress starts with the truth. And the truth is, improvement starts with I. So if you're looking at that and going, oh shit, we do all of that. Here's how you move from there to up here. In the book, All Blacks teaches about the business of life. They speak to another book called Drive. What really motivates us. So 3 things that Daniel Pink talks about in Drive. Purpose. What's the purpose of the business? What's the person's purpose? Autonomy. 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 And a drive towards mastery. I'll read you that All Black quote again. See if this now starts to make sense. The key questions are, how do leaders create an environment that delivers the opportunity for personal growth, professional development, how they enable mastery, and how they make it happen every day? Autonomy, mastery, and purpose. The key habits that they're doing up in this corner here is they're kind, not nice. They use candor and empathy with their people. Hey Beanie, your fly's down. Not, oh shit, his fly's down, I don't want to tell him. He'd be embarrassed about that. Kind, not nice. Big differentiator between being up here, outliers. Get the wrong colour pen, get the right one. I'm gonna shock it today. Outliers, average to outlier. Stagnant, disengaged, engaged and pumped. Kind. Next one, clear standards. Process that they use for that is what's known as 2-second lean. Is a great process for that. Lean Made Simple is the book that you want to get hold of to have a look at the process for how you create and maintain. That's the other thing that they do down here. They think that we've built a great culture. When people talk to me about the culture that they've built, that again is one of these, a red flag. Culture's never built. You're in the process of building an even better culture. Is what you should be doing. When you say built a great culture, means that construction's finished. We've stopped improving, we've stopped growing. We think we're at a good enough stage. Now, that's where complacency, entitlement, and all those sorts of things start to creep in when you have the mentality of we've built a great culture. They've got clear standards. They have a daily feedback loop. Process that comes out 2-second lean for that is what's known as the morning meeting. What are you doing today? What did you get done yesterday? What held you up? Where are the constraints? What are the problems? What are the issues? What do we need to fix so we can move, we can flow even better, slow and smooth and fast. Daily feedback loop versus these guys avoid feedback and coaching because it's uncomfortable. The mentality up here is we improve daily. Again, 2-second leans, making small incremental improvements that compound into something much bigger. We can get a 1% improvement by 72 days in a row. We then double our output. That's when I say that you can shift the culture in 90 days from here to here. That's the math. It's not a guess. It's not a dream. I've done it. That's how I did it. In this book, what the All Blacks can teach us about the business of life, they speak to this. 1% improvement. 100 things done just 1% better. Means the difference between winning the World Cup and losing the World Cup. We improve daily. We have a great culture. We've built our culture. No, you haven't. Culture never, ever, ever, ever built. It's an ongoing process, daily process for ongoing improvement. These guys are winging it. These guys, thank you, I'll write that there. Master. Process improvement. What does mastery look like? It's called deliberate practice. Again, there is a mathematical formula behind it. You go back to the book by Andres Ericsson, who studied the outliers in almost every endeavour. Play an instrument, sport, whatever it may be. 100 hours of deliberate practice. Deliberately getting better. Not turning up, going through the motions. 100 hours of mastering that morning meeting, which equates to, over a year, it's about 16 minutes per day. I'd suggest that you start, well, do the Atomic James Clear Atomic Habits thing to start with. When I start doing this, I'm not trying to get them to start at 16 minutes a day. That's where I want to end up at. It's just, let's get this morning meeting going to first. Let's get everyone just turning up. Unless a habit can be established, there's little to no chance of improving it. Get everyone turning up for their morning meeting, speaking to the right things. 1% we get this morning meeting going. Better and better and better and better. Everything else flows off of it. We're eliminating the 8th waste. If you understand lean and what the 8th waste is, which is unused people potential. We attack that waste first, the rest of the waste start to disappear. Because these process masters, which is basically where we want to move everyone from, when they're down in here, they're winging it. Up here, they're a process master. They know exactly what and how they're doing what they're doing. A map of daily self-improvement. So what does that look like? How do we track this? I call this the Traction Trifecta. And what I need to do is get rid of my old mate ChatGPT and pull that up. I need that to come up so that I can flick to the next scene, and hopefully so the microphone should be going there. Just make sure we've got one. Yep, we have. Okay, so I'll put you back on walkabout mode so that make sure that you are actually looking at me and you're thinking, why is Boney disappeared off the screen? These are some key things that I do to make sure that people are continuously improving and that we're getting this process in place. So the first one is plan your day before it starts. So I give them this map to tick off as they go. So if they plan their day before they start, as you can see, the little thing says that I did that there, so we made that blue. I did that, plan my day before I start. Limit my day, works in progress to 3 measurable outcomes. I'm talking about bullshit like send 2 letters or do something like that. This is things that are going to improve. Things that are going to move the needle. Things that I need to get done. For me today, I've got someone that I need to follow up about my coaching program. I've got this LinkedIn Live that I need to get done, which I'm doing today, which is promoting the workshop. And then I've got to do an Instagram Live and my daily value bomb, which is all part of the 3 areas that I stick to with the work that I do, which is planning and prioritizing your day, doing social media with extreme competence, which I'm doing now, very rare, and establishing values and culture and maintaining them. So they're the sort of outcomes that need to be going in there. So if I go, I haven't done that one yet, so I'm not going to tick that one. So say I didn't get that one today, that would be a red. Report your progress. I've actually done that already this morning. So I'll go blue there. I've got a scorecard, starting to build a scorecard for today. So if that next section I go down to is get my 3 pillars of lean in, which is identify waste in your process. So I could have a look at the process that I use, and I will do this when I finish this video, to create these lives. Where's the waste? How do I add more value and compress the time it takes me to do it? So then I'd eliminate it, identify it, eliminate it, and then I'd make a before and after video, which is vitally important. Again, I'm going to go into it today, but it speaks to it in the book Legacy about how the All Blacks have video playback. That's how we do the same thing. So we think of it like we're training, we're playing on Sunday, and we make a short video of how we played, so we have something to assess. Down the bottom is what's known as the ABC formula. So I was starting to try and remove tasks, 3 tasks that I want to take out of what I do, that I can either eliminate, automate, create a system, process, and then hand it off to someone else. So whether I'll work on that or not, automate, delegate, 3 tasks that I'm good at, but I still need to get rid of, and how do I get to a day a week where I'm doing what I want to do, which fascinates me, what I'm really good, my sweet spot. These tasks down here, only doing those. Start doing it for 1 day a week, guess what? It'll start happening all the time. So what happens, this is built on a formula by a guy called Ben Hardy, who's a psychologist, written quite a few books on this sort of stuff. What he says is, if we can eliminate, so the goal is to eliminate the reds, the days where we miss, where we don't turn up and do what we say we're going to do. Just by eliminating the reds and keeping ourselves on track with a simple, quick, clear visual like this, we're going to 5x our results. Might take a little bit longer than the 90 days. Might take us 12 months. Might take us 2 years. Turning up and doing this consistently, that's where we're going to get to. All right. Do a quick recap of what we have just done. So the key takeaway is, we don't have to change the world. We don't have to make massive improvements start tomorrow. We don't have to go and tell everyone, listen, just saw this video that Boney did. Shit's going to change around here. In fact, that's the wrong way to do it. We go about this little piece, bite-sized pieces at a time. So the recap is, all progress starts with the truth. Get across and get a copy of the book. You can get it for free, download it for free. Improvement starts with I. Remember that All Blacks quote, what we're trying to build here. Just read it for you again. The key questions are, how do leaders create an environment that delivers the opportunity for personal growth and professional development? How they enable mastery, how they make it happen every day. Perks don't drive culture. We know we don't want to be nice. We can't have low or no standards. We can't avoid feedback. Don't be bragging. We've got a great culture. Your culture's never built. It's in a process of being built. No more winging it when we want to get out of here. We need purpose, autonomy, and mastery. Three key things. We're kind, we use candor, we use empathy. Our standards are clear. We use 2-second lean to drive that. Lean Made Simple book, or Paul Akers' 2-second lean book. We've got daily feedback loop, which is our morning meetings. 1% improvement a day, 72 days in a row, is going to double our output. We improve daily. We have a daily self-improvement map. If you want a copy of that map too, just message me the words, the Traction Trifecta, and I'll flick you a link. You can go to Google Doc. You can go take that, use it, improve it, whatever you do. If you do improve it, send me your improvement so I can look at it and then see if I need to use it on mine as well. We master, our people master process improvement. We have them focused on 100 hours of deliberate practice. Want the Traction Trifecta? Message me those words, the Traction Trifecta. You're only 90 days from breaking out of average, stagnant, and disengaged to an outlier who's engaged and pumped. Take it, use it, make a great week, and I'll speak soon. Oh, if you want details for that workshop, message me the words Manic Monday, and I'll send you the pitch. You can have a look, see if it's for you or not. Speak soon.